Okay, let's move to the next question. So, what is the one thing that you realized pretty late that you'd like to share with someone who is starting up a cafe that is starting up right now? So, with respect to two things over here. So, first, let's start off with things you learned about planning your own menu.
Right. So, with respect to menu, we kind of played it very safe, to be honest. My initial thought was to open like a coffee-based cafe, because CCD was dying. I mean, I think it's kind of gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are not enough good coffee places. Even now there are very few. Costa Coffee is hardly there anymore. So, but then because I didn't know anything about the business, and a couple of people that I spoke with, they strongly suggested that food should also be an important factor. So we planned a menu around what our target audience usually goes with. So HSR, where Hustle is there located, it's the startup hub for Bangalore. So in fact, the street next to us is called Unicorn Street because Udaan and Whatpix and all those companies exist there. So the kind of food that typically these people would, youngsters or even young parents would have. So pizzas, burgers, pastas, along with a strong coffee menu. So that's how we planned a menu. The challenge that comes with that is that there's no way to tell customers that you stand for something other than the soft things. So we are a very friendly cafe. It's a very chill vibe. So that is what we are able to articulate to people. But then we are not able to highlight that, if you want this, come here. If you want that, come here, which something, if you have a very specific menu, if you have a menu-based USP, that is what you can play with. Marketing for sure. I mean, you can probably create the best cup of coffee, brew the best cup of coffee, or make the best damn pizza. But if there's no way for people to know that you exist, they won't be able to come. So marketing for me personally was a big challenge because as an employee in Wipro, you are really pigeonholed into your role.
Yeah.
And every main function is handled by a team or is handled by somebody else. So the way that you look at things can also becomes a very filtered down, funnelized view of things. Ki khana banana hai ya just operations run karne hai. But then there are other things to it. So, and marketing being a very, very major, sort of area.
What was like probably when you were going about your own marketing, something that was extremely interesting to you, or maybe something that took you a long time to realize, but then eventually it worked out great when you were thinking about marketing for your own cafe?
Um, so one challenge is the believability and trust because marketing, I mean, there are 10,000 companies who do marketing, especially social media marketing, which is, I mean, everybody is doing it. I think if a college has 10,000 students, all 10,000 are also doing social media marketing on a very freelance basis. So, and when you talk to companies come with their own overheads. So for a small cafe, self-funded cafe, um, those additional costs and understanding, how to sort of go about that becomes a challenge. So that was a big issue for us. I think that's a constraint that people should be very aware of. Also, the fact that unlike in companies or in production or factories where you do something and the result you see the same day, if you start adding more salt to something, it will become salty now.
Yeah.
Right. But with initiatives like branding and marketing, there's a sustained effort that needs to happen for a couple of months at least before you start seeing sort of the result. The cascade is a lengthier process. So for somebody who is not aware of all this or is impatient because they've not really seen that some things take longer time, there's a gestation before all of things sort of falls into place. So that can become a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Which it has been for us. I mean, but we've learned now, hopefully.
So we learn to be, I guess, more patient with the efforts and
Right. So we've learned to sort of let things take the time that they need to take.
That's a great insight, I think, with marketing in general across and not just for cafes.